Lasagna needs 5 hours to be amazing. That's what I believed. And then I broke the rules. No slow ragu, no hours on the stove. Just one pan, 1 hour, and one piece that changed everything. Hi, I'm Bruno, and today I'm making a lasagna that tastes way more impressive than what the clock says. It's rich, meaty, caramelized, and maybe a little controversial. So when I first tried making a lasagna without the long simmer, I almost felt I was cheating. But I wasn't skipping flavor. I was chasing it differently. It's just lasagna, but simpler. We start where it matters most, flavor. And since we're building that flavor in under an hour, first, preheat your oven. Get it hot now, so by the time the lasagna is layered and ready, it's waiting, not the other way around. Now grab a large pan and get it reaping hot. No oil yet, just heat. You want it nearly smoking before anything touches it. Then drop in half your beef mince. I'm using 20% fat mince. It's deeply flavorful and perfect for this dish. Season it simply with salt, then press it to spread it across the pan, and don't touch it. I know it's tempting, but trust me, that untouched sizzle is where the magic starts. When the meat meets dry heat and just sits there, the Maillard reaction kicks in. Those browning chains that unlock everything from nuttiness to umami. You're not just cooking meat, you're building the base note of the whole dish. And now a little twist, a handful of flour right on top. Sounds strange, I know, but it's an old school Portuguese trick I borrowed from my grandmother's meat pie. She'd always say, never waste a sear. But in Portuguese, she used to say it in Portuguese. And why flour, you ask? It clings to the beef, toasts in the fat, and almost caramelizes. It gives your meat structure and your sauce body. So later, we don't need to simmer forever to get richness. We're making flavor faster, not cheaper. Let it go until half the meat is deeply brown. Then pull it out, set it aside, and repeat with the second batch. And if you're thinking, wait, flour in my meat? Trust me, you'll taste why later. This isn't just a hack, it's a foundation. And in the same pan, don't clean it. What's left in the bottom, all those dark specks, that's gold. That's the residue of flavor, and we're about to wake it up. Toss in your chopped onion with a pinch of salt. Listen to the sizzle, like applause at the start of a concert. This is your orchestra warming up. Add some olive oil to it, and let those onions cook on low heat. First they'll go glossy, then golden, then brown at the edges. Let those onions cook, keep stirring, but don't rush it. This part is pure alchemy. We're getting sweetness, balancing all the meaty depth we just built. This is the soul of the sauce, and for me, it always smells like the start of a family dinner. Now add your garlic. I use both freshly minced and paste, because each hits differently. The fresh gives brightness, the paste, that's deep, mellow heat. Then go in your spices, smoked paprika, garlic powder, onion powder. Stir gently until the kitchen smells like home. Right after that, drop in a good spoonful of tomato paste and a pinch of brown sugar. Stir it well. Let the paste darken slightly, just enough to lose its raw edge and deepen its color. That caramelization brings richness, and the sugar balances the tang without making it sweet. You'll know it's ready when the color deepens and the aroma wraps around you like a blanket. Little things like this, they're what make fast food taste slow. And now comes the reunion. Bring your beautifully browned beef back into the pan. Stir it gently into that rich, fragrant onion base. The pan sizzles, the aroma bloom again. This is where it all starts to feel like one story instead of separate ingredients. And now, the twist. Add dark soy sauce. Yes, soy sauce in lasagna. It's not traditional, but let me tell you, it's transformational. See, Italians may have invented ragu, but umami, that belongs to the world. And dark soy is one of the most powerful, efficient ways to layer it in. It's salty, earthy, just a touch sweet, and it clings to the meat like a glaze. We're not tasting soy, we're tasting depth. The color darkens, the smell intensifies. This is the moment it starts to feel like it's been cooking all afternoon, even though it hasn't. Then, pour in some red wine. Let it hiss and bubble as the alcohol evaporates. What's left behind is warmth, complexity, and that restaurant-style aroma that makes people peek into the kitchen. This is where skeptics start changing their minds. You haven't simmered for hours, but it tastes like you did. I'll add some beef bouillon for extra flavor. Now comes the passata. Rich, smooth, pure tomato. Pour it in and stir everything together. At first glance, it might seem too thin, too bright, almost like you've just undone all that depth we built. But don't panic, it will transform fairly quickly. Cook it for a couple of minutes until it thickens and darkens. You want it somewhere between sauce and paste. Now comes my secret for balancing it all. Lemon juice. Enough to brighten everything up and cut through the richness and the fatness of the meat. This lemon juice is like striking a match in a dark room. Suddenly, everything has shape, light, and contrast. Unless you set a fire, then it's just panic. But in here, it's perfect. Not the match, the lemon juice. And if the acidity of the tomato still feels aggressive, add a pinch of sugar. Not to make it sweet, just to round it out. You're not cheating, you're conducting. By now, the sauce smells like it's been simmering since lunchtime, even if you only started 25 minutes ago. I add a little grated parmesan straight into the meat sauce. It thickens, enriches, and adds that finally savory punch. It melts right in, almost disappearing. But what it leaves behind is that buttery, salty edge that makes everything taste more luxurious. And yes, this is the part where I always sneak a spoonful. Not just to taste for seasoning, well, also to taste for seasoning, but mostly because I can't help myself. If you don't do the same, you're stronger than me. Then grab your lasagna tray, whatever size fits your hunger, and this is always the most relaxing part. Start with a thin layer of sauce, just enough to coat the bottom. Then lay down your lasagna sheets. Whether you're using fresh or dry, don't stress. This sauce is rich enough to soften anything. More sauce. A handful of a mix of mozzarella and cheddar. Another layer of pasta. Then again, sauce, cheese, pasta. Like building a story, one delicious chapter at a time. Each layer holding warmth, richness, and a bit of intention. When you hit the top, spread your final layer of meat all the way to the edges. A generous snowfall of our mozzarella and cheddar mix, and finish it with some parmesan, enough to form a golden crown. And wait till you see the crust this thing forms. And into the oven it goes. This is where everything melts. You want bubbling edges, a golden top, and a cheesy crust that threatens to shatter when you tap it with a spoon. Watch for the corners, they'll crisp first. And when it's ready, rest it. I know it's torture. The smell alone will have everyone hovering, but give it 10-15 minutes. It needs that pause to set. Otherwise, you'll get a messy pile instead of clean, glorious layers. It smells incredible. It looks like it cooked for hours, but it didn't. And no one is going to know. Unless you tell them, don't tell them. Take the win. And when you serve it and you take that first bite, you'll taste the beef. But not just beef, the caramelized notes, the garlic, the soy, the wine, all stacked in layers. And that sauce, it doesn't taste rushed. It tastes engineered, like you knew exactly what you were doing, because you did. I'm not saying this is better than your nonna's, but I am saying try it once and you might just make it your new go-to. And that flour tossed into the beef is one of those little cheap enhancement techniques that helps the meat brown deeper, faster, and adds body to the sauce without needing hours on the stove. This is not about skipping steps. It's about knowing which ones to double down on. Remember when we thought lasagna had to take all day? Now we've seen how all flavor isn't about time. It's about knowing where to push and where to let go. And if you're into dishes that bring big flavor without the fuss, I've got another one for you. A traditional Portuguese chicken and rice. Still rich, still tangy, still soulful. Same idea. Simple moves, bold results. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!